Hello and welcome to another Stephen Mendes video. I wanted to make a short video to show you where the 24 parameters that are associated with these 6 knobs are located within the menu system of the FA-06. The 6 associated with assign 1 to 6 are found in System Setup. So you just press the menu button and then you select System and then you press Select and then you scroll across the System Setup menu until you come to Knobs, and there you have what controller numbers are actually activated right now by the 6 knobs. And of course you can change that to other controller numbers as you wish. Now many of the other parameters are located in the system effects, so we select and press the button there marked System Effects, and then we scroll across to Master EQ. So we're in the System Effects screen at Master EQ, and each of the first 5 knobs that go EQ low, mid, mid 2, mid 3 and high adjust the gain. As you see the numbers there, low gain, mid 1 gain, mid 2 gain, and of course we can scroll right away down to the bottom, high gain. So as you turn those knobs, it will change from 0 dB either in the positive or negative direction, so that we have plus dB or minus depending on whether we wish to boost or cut at those particular frequencies. And the center position of the pot or knob will have 0 dB, just as you see it right there. So that accounts for 5 more parameters. Now also in the Master EQ we can shift the tone control, which is in the bottom of the 4. Let us show you what we're speaking about. You come here and you push the select button to move the light down to the bottom where you see compressor tone, chorus reverb, TFX select and TFX control. Now still on the System Effects screen, if we scroll to the right to TFX, you see that the TFX right now is set to through. Well, if we rotate the knob TFX select, we can select any of the total effects. As you can see, we go on ring modulator, canceller and everything there. So we can change the total effects to whatever we want just by rotating the knob. You may see 2 of them changing at the same time. Look at that. That's what global control means. The parameters can change to optimize it. For example, there we're look, now it's gone and changed the 3rd one, and now it's changing the 2nd one, and then as we come up gradually it does something with the 1st one. So that's changing multiple parameters just by rotating one knob when we have the TFX set to chorus, and of course we can set the TFX to anything just by rotating the knob. Finally, the last parameter that we can use with the sound modify knobs that's located in the system effects settings is the input gain, input audio gain. And for that we go right away over to audio input. And when we rotate the knob at the end of the row where we have the EQ settings, it's marked input level. As we rotate that knob, input level, notice that input level changes. So that's the single parameter there, and we are able to change it without the use of menus directly from our sound modify knobs. Okay, so far we've covered 15 of the 24 parameters that can be changed with the sound modify knobs. So before we go to the top row, cut off, resonance, attack, release, pan and level, we're going to just deal with the other three on the bottom row: compressor, chorus and reverb. Those parameters, which are global parameters, are located in the studio effects rather than the system effects, so they have to be changed with the studio set. In the main menu we move to the effects edit screen, and then from there we select, notice we can select chorus and reverb. So if we press chorus or reverb, it carries us to the studio set effects screen, as you see there, and we're right on chorus, or we can switch to reverb. Now notice when we're on chorus and I rotate the chorus knob in the bottom row, which is knob 3, with the arrow pointing to the very bottom row, several of these change together. Two of them are changing, both the rate and the depth. As you can see, both the rate and the depth settings are changing as I rotate the chorus knob. When I go to the reverb knob and I rotate the reverb sound modify thing, notice that several of them again are changing. The bottom one, the spread and the time, are two parameters that are changing. There may be more if we scroll down, but I just wanted to let you know that the chorus and reverb knob parameter is a global control parameter that alters the main chorus and reverb that acts upon the voices. Now, the compressor is also located in the studio set effects to the right of reverb. There we are at master compressor. Even though it's not active at this time, as you can see, there is not a pink dot next to it, so it's currently not active. But nevertheless, we can still change its parameters by rotating the compressor knob, which is sound modify knob 1, when the arrow is pointing to compressor in the bottom row. And when I rotate that there, you can see actually 3 or 4 of the compressor settings changing. Right now you can see line 1, line 3, line 5 and line 6 changing as we rotate. In fact, all of them change over the entire rotation. So the single compressor knob is able to change the parameters of your master compressor simultaneously, which frees up hands and makes for important musical changes when using the compressor option. Notice also that by rotating the compressor knob, I have turned on the master compressor, and if I now exit, I will see that the master compressor is active. That has a green dot next to it there in my effects editor. I have only 6 more knobs to deal with. The 6 in the top row right under the knobs, namely cutoff, resonance, attack, release, pan and level. Where are those parameters located when we rotate those knobs? Well, we exit the effects editor screen. Yes, if we just press the shift when we are in the studio set play, which is the main screen that comes up when we're in single mode, notice it says studio set play at the top. We just hold down the shift button, and the third one there is marked part view, and we press the part view, and that brings us to the part view menu. All the other parameters are located in here. As you can see, it's the first one we've come to is level and pan, which is knob 5 and 6 when the arrow is pointing to the top row. And as I rotate the pan, you'll notice that part 1 is panning. Okay, and the level of part 1 is there in the part view. Now if I was to go down to say part 2 or any of the other part, we go to part 3, then the whole thing works with part 3. Notice it says part 3 pan, part 3 level. So basically the whole top row, when the knob is some modified knobs are working on the top row, it's affecting the parameters associated with whatever part is active, whatever is the active part. And of course you can change the active part from several different screens and change your settings. There we've gone to part. We can pan the parts and adjust their level. Now what about the other 4? Cutoff, resonance, attack and release. Well, above here, if we go, let's go to the very top and let's move across to where it says offset. Offset. Now in offset, you're seeing once again for all the parts the different rows, and this is where the offset knobs dial in a change to the cutoff. As you can see, cutoff for part 3, resonance for part 3, attack for part 3, and release for part 3. And there you will see that we have now changed the numbers from 0. We've got plus and minus numbers, either increasing those parameters or decreasing them from whatever is set within the actual tone itself. In this case, 76 pure. Now, some of the tones that you have do not cater to the offset. In order to use these offset sound modify knobs, you have to actually make sure that it's active in the particular tone that you're using. So it's quite possible that these knobs, these 4 knobs here, may have no effect on certain tones. But we will look at that when we look at the tone parameters to see how we can activate the offset and set the range that we want the knob to have. So not only can we activate those particular parameters to make them available to the knobs, but we can actually set the range over which the knob alters your cutoff, release, or attack from within the actual tone parameters itself. So now we have shown you where all 24 parameters that you may twiddle with the sound modify knobs are located within the menu structure of the FA-06. You should be able to utilize these to your advantage. Thank you for watching this Stephen Mendes video, and we'll see you soon again.